Remember we talked about Ann and Betty and that she lost 40% of her inheritance? Remember I talked about that? Why did she lose it? Because she bought things and she put her husband's name on stuff. Therefore, when they got a divorce, they presumed that to be community property, and Ann couldn't prove otherwise. So here's what happens. Watch what happens here. Mom and dad die, and both the kids get their money. Got that? Everybody got that. They get their money. Your estate plan, your will has worked. Yay! 5 years later, unfortunately, this is not something I wish on anybody, but your son or daughter passes away. That money is going to end up going to their spouse. And that spouse is going to marry someone else. And who gets shortchanged? Your grandkids. Now, how do you prevent that? What we do in our office, what we've designed, is an inheritance protection trust. So here's how that goes. Let's say that this is your inheritance from mom and dad. This is your inheritance. It never goes to you. It never goes to Ann. It never goes to B, whoever that is. And it never goes to this character, Phil. It never goes to Ann. It never goes to Betty. Instead, it goes to a mom and dad or a single person's created trust. Inside your living trust, we insert language that says, when we both die, attorney, I want you to construct a trust and follow these rules. So here's the trust. This is my inheritance. Now, I'm a good guy, so Hollis is in charge of Hollis's trust. Now, watch this. I take some of the money and I buy some investments here at Phil. So we buy the investments. Now watch this. Then I take some of the money and I get a condo or something. And some of the money and I get something else. Here's the question. Get this right. It's not owned by Hollis. It's owned by what? Trust. Hollis's trust. And who controls Hollis's trust? Tony. Hollis. The kid. Ann, Betty, or whomever. My wife says, I see you got an inheritance from your parents. Gee, I wish my parents would have left me something, but guess what? I'm leaving you. And I'm going to divorce you, and I'm going to get half of that because of community property. She will get nothing because I have not mixed this up. I have not commingled this. It stayed in my trust. I can say to my wife, gosh, you're good looking. Here's $20,000. Okay, I can do that because I control the trust. But when I buy assets, the assets will be owned by my trust. So the people I love, it could be kids, it could be nieces, nephews, it could be brothers and sisters, it can be parents if you pass away, have kept control so that upon my death, it's going to go to my kids, your grandkids. So we've really handled a lot of obstacles. Now let me ask you again, I want you to be honest. If you walked into my office knowing what you do now, and I said, I have an idea, why don't we just give it to your two kids, and if they've passed away, it'll go to your grandkids. How many still think that's a good idea? Put your hand up if that's a good idea. So now you've learned something. When your trust or your will or your accounts say it goes to boom, 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 you could be shortchanging your grandchildren. And you could be setting it up so that, like Ann, over here, Ann and Betty, she lost it in a divorce because there was no protection. And that's why our office is different than almost every other. I developed this system. And we tweak it all the time. We make it better and better and better. And they're great. These are the kinds of things you want to consider. You do not want to go to an attorney that pulls a blank and goes, here, my secretary will put this together and there you go. You want to go so that they listen, just like Phil listens to you on your accounts. You want to go where they listen to you, listen to your family situation, and teach you so that if you say, yes, I want to go outright to my two kids, that's your choice. But you know about the consequences of that choice. You could want that, but you'd want it from a position of strength, not saying, well, I guess I'll just listen to the expert.